Hong Kong is set to embark on its most expensive infrastructure project ever. The city plans to build a third airport runway. Critics, however, say the third runway isn't necessary. Cathy has the details.
As government plans to build a third runway in Hong Kong take off, a growing number of opponents are trying to keep it grounded. One of the most ambitious projects the city has ever undertaken will boost the city's competitiveness, according to Secretary Anthony Cheung of Transport and Housing.
It is a plan in which details of civil aviation, whether of Hong Kong or the mainland, including Shenzhen, Guangzhou, Zhuhai, as well as Macau, are analyzed.
Building the third runway adds to a frenzy of infrastructure building in Hong Kong, including this high-speed rail line to Guangdong province from one of the city's main shopping districts, Tsim Sha Tsui, and this bridge linking Hong Kong with Macau and Zhuhai on the mainland. Rising construction costs and labor shortages have repeatedly delayed their completion. Opponents fear similar problems for the third runway, and even more flight delays at the airport if the third runway gets built. The planned airport expansion is said to be the most expensive infrastructure project ever in Hong Kong at more than $18 billion. But more than cost, the expansion has been dogged by opponents, saying building a new runway isn't the solution until the problem of flying through and around mainland airspace, mainly controlled by the military, is resolved. Airspace, or the lack of it, is the key issue, argues activist Michael Mo.
The airspace is already congested. Even you build a new runway, you have to figure out with sufficient airspace for the third runway to go through, which means we have to ask Shenzhen to give way to their airspace.
In a recent poll, 2/3 of the respondents said they do not want a third runway. The survey by Baptist University reveals more than 68% want better use of the two existing runways before considering the construction of a third. While the existing runways were built to accommodate 80 takeoffs and landings per hour, the actual number is to around 68. The government says building a third runway would increase capacity to over 100 flights per hour. Environmentalists also insist that building a third runway would deal a big blow to marine wildlife in the surrounding area.
If there's reclamation of such a large area, probably the Chinese white dolphin will not be there any ever.
Then there's the issue of who ends up footing the bill, the city's taxpayers or the passengers, raising tempers in an already heated debate on how cost-competitive Hong Kong will really be with a third runway. Cathy, CCTV, Hong Kong.